if there is just one thing that we should do more in our lives, it is to be more grateful. I think a lot nowadays, we are so busy with our lives that we forget to just be grateful for like the simple things in life. To be grateful to be alive, to be grateful to see color, to be grateful to hear, to be grateful to speak, to be grateful to live in a country where, you know, we have technology, we have access to so many different interesting things, right? And I think that we forget this because we're just so busy in our lives. We're always busy doing something. We're always busy trying to achieve something bigger. We're always busy trying to do this and that. But we don't spend enough time in the present moment to be grateful. We live our lives like we wake up, we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have dinner, we have so much food, but we eat it without being grateful. We have our phone in one hand and we're eating, you know, in the right hand, the other hand, just like watching YouTube reels. But we forget the importance of how lucky we are these days, how lucky we are. There are people in other countries that are struggling so much. They're going through war, famine, disease, and it's absolutely insane how they are surviving and going through all this shit. But I guarantee you that those people are way more grateful than us. I guarantee you that. That people who live in war-torn countries, like just having like a plate of rice, being able to sleep at night without hearing bombs go off, without hearing gunshots, just for one night, having a pleasant sleep, I guarantee you they're grateful. I guarantee you that they're grateful that they still have at least their brother or their mother, right? Their parents in their lives. They're grateful, but we're not. We're not grateful enough in this generation. We're really not. And I think that's a big problem because a lot of us, when we're not grateful enough, we start becoming like victims. We start becoming entitled to things. We start, you know, we think that just because we're this and that, we deserve this and that. And we become unhappy because we have so much materialistic shit now. And we're always trying to chase the latest thing, and then maybe we don't get it, or we're always comparing ourselves to other people. All of these things, we start becoming unhappy, we start becoming stressed out, we start becoming anxious, we start becoming depressed. We're going through all of this shit because of an abundance of things that we have in our lives, man. We have an abundance of so much stuff. We have variety of restaurants that we can, you know, a variety of dishes that we can eat. Korean, Japanese, Asian, whatever. There's so much options, bro. There's so many options. You go to a grocery store and you have so many options, man, of different foods that you can try. We have so much entertainment, man. So much entertainment. We have a plethora of video games that you can do that are fun, some are not fun. We have a plethora of entertainment, movies and stuff like that. We have a plethora of just goods, man, clothing, accessories. We have a plethora of everything, just everything, man. Everything has become so convenient for us, but we forget to be grateful. We forget to be grateful for our lives. We forget to be grateful that we have clothes on our back. We forget all of these things, man. And we need to really become more like just happy, like grateful for the things that we have in our lives already. We really do. And I think people who have less and are given something to them, they are way more grateful than the people who have more and something is given to them. I guarantee you they're way less grateful. People who are rich, upper class, anything that is given to them because they can easily get it themselves. And people are living now in such a fabricated lifestyle, man. It's like everything is just all about glamour and driving the latest car, having the latest clothes. You know, just trying to be this, like, everyone just has this like selfish mentality that they think they're like on top of the world. That is what this mentality, everyone just has a massive ego now. And it's really sad that this generation is like that. Because people have just become just like selfish creatures and ungrateful, and you know, people just think they're like better than everyone else, and it's really sad, bro. It's really sad. Like we've really forgotten the basics of life. We've really forgotten that we really don't need much in life to be happy. We really don't. All we need, man, is a couple of sets of clothes. You have a vehicle that you can, you know, drive around with. It doesn't have to be a fancy car. You have family, you know, you have friends or whatever. You don't need many, you just need a few. But I think we've caught up in this idea that more is better. That's the mentality that we're stuck in now in this generation. That we think that the more we have, the happier we'll be. The more we have, the better off we'll be. And that's just a consumerist mentality that media has fed us, that social media has fed us, that just society has fed us. And I think it's bullshit. It's just made us a lot more anxious, a lot more worried, a lot more depressed, and it's made us feel way more emptier inside. And that is an absolute fact. I remember when I was younger, man, when I was in like my teens, when I was in like just a child, I was just so happy. I was so happy for just having like, because I didn't have a lot of stuff. I just had a couple of, you know, I had a couple of game consoles. I had an Xbox or a PlayStation. But it was simple. Back then it was just simple. Now everything is just, because of so many different options, everything has become so overcomplicated. And I think because of the fact that we have so many options, and then there's so many different like features of like an app. Like, I'm just giving you an example. Like, everything has become just so, like, just so many different paths that we've just become like we don't know where to put our attention to. We don't know, like, the next thing. That one thing's done, we go move on to the next thing. We finish watching YouTube on our laptop, we move on to our phone. We finish one video game, we move on to the next. We finish one drama, we move on to the next. We finish one job, we move on to the next job. We finish one thing, we go on to the next. But the thing is, bro, that we don't take the time to smell the flowers. We don't take the time to be grateful that we even have a job, that we even have a phone, that we even have a computer, that we even have our parents, that we even have friends, that we even have all of these things. We forget about these things because we think that in order to be happy, we need to be busy all the time. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And people who are like elders, like people who are seniors and people who are on their deathbed and stuff like that, a lot of them will tell you that the happiest moments of their lives were memories with people. A lot of the times it was just the people that they hung around with that they created memories with. A lot of people would say it would be traveling. A lot of people would say it would be like, yeah, just spending time with family. Those are the things that they were grateful for, that made them happy and stuff like that. So, but they're not gonna talk about, yeah, man, me having my 20 Mercedes Benzes and my 30 Lamborghinis and my, you know, having my Xbox. Those are the things I really, 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 I will never forget. I'll never forget. No. And even those people that really enjoyed video games, they wouldn't tell you that the happiest moments of their lives were the actual console itself. The happiest moments of their lives were playing with friends, were being in a part of a community. Those are the moments that they were grateful for, that they were happy for. So at the end of the day, it comes down to just the simplicity of life, to be able to have a community And the happiest moments of our lives will always be the memories that we made with others, or the experiences that we've created for ourselves. And honestly, bro, look at nature as well. Nature is natural. Nature has always been there. Nature is just basic. Nature doesn't overcomplicate itself. Nature, nature just does its thing. And then when we see nature, when we see the trees, when we see the mountains, when we see the rivers, when we see the fishes, doesn't it give us a sense of peace? Doesn't it give us a sense of joy? Doesn't it make us feel grateful? You know why? Because it's natural, because it's basic, because it's always been there. But when we overcomplicate our lives, when we make our lives superficial, that's when unhappiness starts coming up. We tend to overcomplicate our lives, and we tend to believe that just because we have accessibility, just because we made things easier for ourselves, just because we have options, that is what's going to give us a purpose. That's what's going to fill our soul with, that is what's going to take us out of the darkness. That is an absolute lie, bro. That is an absolute lie. We really got to start appreciating everything in our lives. And the way to start is easy, man. It's simple. Just wake up, have a journal, and you can write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And when you write down those things, try to be, you could be general or you can be specific as possible. It's up to you. You could be like, oh, I'm just grateful to have woken up. Or you can say, I'm grateful for hearing the sounds of the birds. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee that I just had. Either or is fine. But the thing is, we need to start being intentional with being more grateful on a daily basis. When the day is done, when you finish work, when you finish a workout, say to yourself, I'm grateful that I had the energy to work out. I'm grateful that I was able to work, to have the energy to work, to be able to make money, make some money. When you go to the grocery store and you purchase those groceries, when you come home, be like, I am grateful that I had the energy and the money to purchase groceries and to be able to go home and to eat this delicious food. When you wake up, first thing, I'm grateful to have woken up. I'm grateful to have had a peaceful sleep. If you had a good dream, be like, I'm grateful that I had a good dream. If you had a bad dream, tell yourself, I'm grateful that I had a bad dream because it's reminding me that I need to work on something, or that there's some sort of reminder, a warning. When you are driving, when you look at your vehicle, be like, I'm grateful that I have a car. I'm grateful that I have a license, that I'm able to drive in a country where, and maybe in other places I'm not allowed to drive. Have intention, be grateful, man. When you're looking at nature, when you see a park, be like, I'm grateful that I can see the trees. I'm grateful that I can see the color of the leaves, that they're green. I'm grateful to be able to see the sky. I'm grateful to be able to see all of these different colors, because many people in this world cannot even see color. I'm grateful that I have 2 arms, my fingers. I'm grateful that I don't have any serious injuries or serious problems. You gotta be more grateful, man. You have to be more grateful. It is the only way that's gonna get us out of this feeling of dreadfulness and sadness and comparison with others. We live in a world, in a very fast-paced society, that everyone's just rushing. Everyone's just in a rush. Everyone's trying to do this, achieve this. Everyone's trying to achieve that. There's nothing wrong with it, but during that process, you have to be very grateful. So when you get to that certain stage in your life, when you're leveling up in life, you've got to be grateful, man. You gotta be grateful that I went through the struggle, and I'm grateful that I'm finally able to live a life that I want to live. That's the key to life.